Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. I'm so happy you're here and I really hope you're doing well. I put on a little bit of makeup for you guys today, so that in itself is an achievement, but I thought I would just sit down with you guys today and kind of word vomit and have a little bit of a chat with you guys regards my last video and where I'm currently at, and also some realizations I've had over the last week or so that also might be helpful for some of you guys, like just to kind of put things into perspective a little bit. But first of all, before I say anything, I just want to say from the absolute bottom of my heart, thank you so bloody much to anybody who reached out, commented or messaged me regards my last video. Like, honestly, you guys have helped me so much more than you even realize, and I can't express that. Words don't explain how much you guys mean to me, how much your love and your support and you're just being there means to me. Yous are honestly amazing and I really do see yous as my genuine friends. I'm also so happy that that video has helped so many of you guys and brought a lot of you guys comfort, because you guys have also brought me a lot of comfort since uploading that video. So I feel it's been really nice that we've been able to do that for each other. It genuinely has really shocked me at how many people are currently struggling right now, or have been quite recently or at some point this year. Like, I am so shocked at the comments under that video and my heart absolutely breaks for anybody who's in a dark place right now. And in that sense, I'm so happy I posted that video, because not only for me but for any of you guys, like, to be able to go and look at that comment section and read all them comments, like, there's so many amazing comments there. There's people replying to people's comments, like love and kindness, and it's just a really lovely place to be. And it kind of makes you realize that there's so many of us in this battle right now, and even though it's so horrible to think of somebody else or so many other people struggling, like, it just makes you feel a little bit okay, I can do this, you know, because while you're trying to get through your day and do the really little things, or no matter what it is, whether it's get out of bed, have a shower, whatever it is, you know that there's so many other people around the world who are doing that too. So technically you then know you are doing it together. One of the worst things about depression is how completely isolated and alone you feel, because you're so trapped in your head, like with absolute monsters, what it feels like. So when you can see a community of other people who are also not doing so good, you know, it makes you realize that you're not the only one feeling this way. So if so many of us are feeling this way, doesn't that show that we're the furthest thing from alone? Like, really, at the end of the day, I think it really does. After seeing how many people were struggling in the comment section of that video and how many people reached out to me, I was thinking that it'd be really nice if we could make like a group chat somewhere. I don't know if we could do it on Instagram or where we could do it, and whoever wanted to join could join, and it could just be a little community we have where we check in with each other and we maybe let each other know our accomplishments for that day, no matter how small or big they are. And yeah, just having a place we can go if you're feeling a little bit stuck or you don't really have anyone to talk to. I was thinking that might be a nice idea, because I feel like having a community is so important when you're struggling, and I feel like that last video in itself in the comment section was its own community, because it was just full of people sharing their stories and then us supporting one another. And it's just what we need when we're not okay, you know. It really is what we need to get us through the dark times. It's just knowing that there's people there that care, you know. But where I currently am at, I'm doing my best. I'm trying every day. That's all we can do, and that's all you can do as well. I have been to see the doctor. I have gone back on antidepressants because I was off them for like maybe 5 months, I want to say 6 months, I want to say. But yeah, you know, don't be ashamed either if you need medication. There's no shame in it whatsoever. Like, if you had diabetes, would you not take your insulin? Of course you'd take your insulin. Or if you have an infection, are you not going to take the antibiotics? Of course you're going to take the antibiotics. I feel like the stigma around medication and mental health is a big problem. Like, there's no shame, there is nothing wrong in taking medication if you need a little bit of help. Like, that is absolutely okay. And whether you need help for 3 months, 6 months, 10 years, your whole rest of your life, that doesn't matter. If something is helping you, that's all that matters. So yeah, I'm really hopeful for this medication. It's one that I've never been on. It's called Lexapro, and my doctor said it's one that they often prescribe to young people for depression and anxiety, which are the two things that I've really been struggling with. Something that I've kind of realized when I am in a very dark place is that I do just have to kind of ride the wave, which brings me on to the first realization or thought I kind of had in the last week or so, and it's actually something one of you guys said, and it's that change is one of the only constants in life. And that really stuck with me because it's really true. I don't want to sound morbid here, but like honestly, like 3 of the only things that are really guaranteed in life is death, taxes, and change. Change happens all the time. It happens to all of us every single year, multiple times a year, and just everything is always changing. So that's something that I've been trying to keep in my head when I'm struggling. Like obviously it's a process, like I'm well aware of that. Like, you know, your mental health is a lifelong commitment. It is a process. When you're in a dark place, you know, it does take time, and you've got to be patient with yourself, most importantly, because I feel like that's something I do, is I get very frustrated and I just want it to happen like right now, but that's not how it happens, you know. But I feel like that's something that has been really helpful, kind of keeping it stuck in my head, is that change is constant. And you know, any dark place that I've been in before, I've come out of it, and I'm sure the same is for you. Like just think of all the horrible things you've experienced in your life, things that you never thought you would get through. I know you have so many, we all have so many, and look, you're here, you got through them all, things you didn't think you'd get through, and you'll get through this as well, and so will I. And that's what I'm just keeping in my head. Like, you know, I feel when we're in a dark place, when we get frustrated, because I know I can do this, I get frustrated with the place I'm in, and I can often find that spirals me into an even darker place, instead of just being like, okay, this is hard, but it's going to be okay, and just having patience and kindness with myself. Which brings me on to my next kind of thought I've had, which is that as humans, we love control. We all love control. It's just something in us. It's a human thing that we just love to be in control of things in our life, and I very much so fall into that category. But we can't really control a whole lot. Like there's actually, at the end of the day, there is very little we can control. So therefore we spend so much time obsessing and worrying and stressing about things that are actually completely out of our control. And I've kind of realized that when we have control, it's the power that we want, it's that power we feel, but that there's actually a lot of power in just letting things go and letting things be. Because another thought I had is that everything is happening for you, not to you. This place that I have been in and that you are in is happening for a reason, because in the future we're going to be so much more resilient, we're going to be so much more stronger, we're going to know how to help ourselves more the next time. There are so many positives to come out of something like that, and therefore it's happening for us, not to us. I feel like especially when you're in a real depressed place, you just feel like the whole world is out to get you. You feel like everybody's out to get you and everything is working against you. So I've been really trying to shift my mindset to, no, actually it's actually happening for me, because this is going to benefit me in the future. And I feel like by doing that, it does help. When you're in that place, you need to just slowly try to shift your little thoughts, because it's like all these negative thoughts and they're just eating away, eating away, eating away. So we need to try and interrupt them thoughts with things like this. And that's why I thought this might be helpful for some of you guys, because it can be a way that you can interrupt your thoughts as well. Going back to the whole point about just letting things go and control, because something I'm really bad at when I am in a depressive episode, and it's something I'm bad at as a whole anyway, but even more so when I'm in a depressive episode, is that when anything happens, no matter how small or big the thing is, it just seems like this huge thing to me, like that I am never, oh my god, how am I going to deal with that? How am I meant to sort that out? Like how is that going to happen? And I've realized by just looking back at my life so far, that everything has worked itself out. Everything has worked itself out, whether I have spent one day stressing about it or a whole month stressing about it. It's worked itself out. It always has, and it always will. Me stressing and worrying and getting frustrated about it, and like, oh, getting all angry with myself because I don't know how I'm going to manage that, is a waste of my time. It's an absolute waste of my time, completely. It's not benefiting me at all. It's not benefiting the thing, that the little problem or whatever the issue is, it's not benefiting that either. So what's the point? It's going to get sorted out. Let it go, just let it go. Stop zoning in on things that really don't matter. You're probably not even, are you going to remember that in 5 years time? If you're not, why are you freaking out about it so much? I just feel like these little things are really important when you're your head's on a loop. So the next thing that one of you guys said that really stuck with me is that you were saying that when you go a while without achieving something big, you can get really down and frustrated in yourself, but that when you're in the dark place, you know, that getting out of bed, having your shower, having your meal, whatever it is an achievement in itself, and it deserves to be acknowledged. Like, don't just look at them things like, that's all I've done today, oh, I'm so useless, I'm such a failure. No, be like, okay, I've done really good today, I managed to do this thing, and this thing. And the way you put it was just really kind of refreshing, and it's so true. Like, just acknowledging your small achievements. Like, tomorrow's a new day, there's so many days, it's okay, you know, just focus on this day. That's all you've got to do, is just focus on this day, focus on what you can do today, and focus on just getting through the day. Because as long as you're here, there's always going to be a better day, but if you're not here, there's not going to be any better days. So it's so important you get through the days that aren't so good, the days that are a little bit harder, because then you're giving yourself opportunities to actually have better days in the future. After reading that comment from one of you guys, it made me kind of think and realize that we are just on this like hamster wheel. Like, the way the world is crazy. It's like this race to the finish line to like check off all the same boxes. And you know, it made me realize that, just say we have an achievement in our life, like you get a promotion in your job, you're only really happy about that for 2 days, and then you're like, okay, well, when am I going to get my next promotion? Or when am I going to meet the person that I can settle down with? When am I going to buy a house? When am I going to get married? Am I ever going to get married? I need to have a better job than this to prove to my family that I'm this or that. Like, it's all these same boxes that we're trying to tick off, and like, you have to do this by a certain age, you have to be done college by this age, you have to have a good job by this age, you have to have a partner by this age, and buy a house at this age. And if you don't have these things at this age, well, then what are you doing? Like, you're a bum. Like, it's actually crazy when you think about it, because one of you guys also said not all of us are suited to this manic, fast-paced life. And I was like, oh my god, that is so true. Our life, our world, our society is so manic and fast paced, and you got to do this, then this. If you've done that, you've got to move on to the next thing, and you've got to keep moving. And it puts so much pressure and stress, and it makes people so overwhelmed and feel like they're not good enough, and where they're at in their life isn't good enough, and we're always just like wanting more and more and more. And I'm just like, what the hell is that about? I feel like I'm much more suited to a slow paced life, and I just feel like all these expectations of people, and like the kind of push from society, and like the way people don't feel good enough if they've not done X or Y or Z by a certain age, it's just absolute crap. Like, it's absolute shit. And I feel like we've just got to peel it back and forget about the timelines, forget about, I want to have this by this age and that age, and if I'm not doing X, Y and Z today, then how am I going to get this by that age? Stop stressing about that absolute crap, because first of all, as this year has shown us, nothing is in our control at the end of the day. Like, really and truly, absolutely nothing is in our control. So just to focus on the day and try to appreciate like the really tiny things, even if it's going for a walk and being like, oh, it's such a beautiful day, or like, it's so nice to get some fresh air, or being able to have a hot shower or have some hot water. Just like appreciating them really little things, and stop just focusing in on like this huge picture where it seems like I'm never going to reach that. Because I feel like when you're in a dark place, or if you're mentally struggling, looking at that, it's just like, how am I ever going to get there? How am I ever going to achieve that? You don't need to worry about that. Like, you don't need to worry about that. All these pressures that we put on ourselves, that are put on us from society, don't need to be there, and we can completely take them off ourselves if we want. And just asking ourselves, what do I actually want? Like, what makes me content? What makes me feel relaxed? What makes me feel calm? It really is the tiny little things, and if we can just focus on doing them little things and stop focusing on the really big picture, I feel like that is a really important place for us to start. Something else I've been doing is just writing down my thoughts and how my days have been going in a little journal. I feel like this is really helpful. One, in the future you will actually be able to look back and see how far you've come, because when you don't write things down and you just look back in hindsight, you can get a bit muddled up and can't remember exactly how things were. But also it gets it out of your head. Like, sometimes I'm worrying about something and I forget it. I'm like, I need to remember that worry, because that worry is really important, because if I forget about the worry, then the worry is not going to happen. And oh my god, don't even ask, my brain is like, my brain is too much. But it takes the worry out of your head and puts it on the page, so then you're like, okay, it's there, I've passed it on, I can take it out of my brain now. Do you know, that really has also been helping me. My camera battery is about to die, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here, just letting you guys know that the next video that will be posted is a video that was pre-filmed before all this. So I really just wanted to sit down and have a really open chat with you guys before that video goes up. But I love you all so much, and I just want you to know, if you ever need somebody, please do message me on Instagram, and just keep, if I don't see it, bump it up. I'm always here for you guys. Please let me know how you're feeling down below in the comments. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you guys. I cannot express that enough. You guys have helped me more than you could even understand or realize, and I'm so happy that I've been able to bring you guys some comfort, make you guys feel heard and understood, and let you guys know that you also aren't alone and that we're in this together. We will get out the other side together. We will. It's a process, but one day at a time, baby steps. Just focus on the day. That's all we need to worry about, you know. Everything else is uncertain anyway. My camera died mid-sentence and the sun is out in full force, but I was basically just saying that it is a battle, but it's a battle that we're going to win, and we will win it together. And you know, we're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to look back at this in the future and you're going to be so glad you held on in there, okay? And I just want you to know how much I love each and every single one of you guys, and I'm still in the process of getting back to as many of you guys as I can. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys super soon, and I love you all so very much.